10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
It's our first Division 1 series of the day. We're heading to OG versus Tundra. Indeed, quite the blockbuster here for Dream League Season 18, powered by Intel. We are ready for the draft of this series. And for the more observant viewers under us, so you will notice that OG has got a drafting penalty, so reduced bonus time on their drafting due to having a couple accounts not being ready on time and everything like that, which is not that big of a problem if you're drafting incredibly fast, which seems to be the case, meaning that Lacoste and T-Gov are going to need a couple of seconds to take in what is about to be on our screen, because I kid you not, this happened in the span of just a couple of seconds. Well, sort of felt like it anyway. You can tell that Tundra did use 10 seconds of their bonus time, but OG only has 1 minute in total. And this was pretty fast, so I hope that I have now talked long enough for T-Gov and Lacoste to have formed their opinions on what's happening on the screen.
OG is second pick, therefore Tundra entered this game with the how to counter OG strat, which is you ban 2 of my heroes, you pick the other one. Yep. So they ban Timber, they ban Viper, they pick up the Razor, and of course OG still have the Enigma available, and they just pair it with a Void Spirit. So yeah, I think overall openings very static, nothing too left field, nothing too crazy.
I guess that's why it was so fast.
Yeah.
Like when we talked to Misha after their previous win, he said like one of the ways that they prepared for the major was that they practice draft against each other. And I guess if you do that, if you know what's coming, you kind of have already got your recipe against it.
Yeah, most likely, because they have 8 people. It's not fair. Have way too many people working on the drafts. Razor plus Io, these 2 heroes have been bread and butter for Tundra, Tour 1, Tour 2. They've been spamming it a lot. I didn't think we're going to see too much of Enigma, but seems like I was wrong. Still feels very good, and yeah, it's OG playing it, so you know that Taiga is going to bring it out no matter what. Void Spirit, like, I think this is a good response. He can get away from the static link. He can find Io in the backlines. You need to pick some kind of stun. I want them to protect this Void Spirit. I've been really amazed by Puck recently, the way this hero shines, because I think the spellcasters overall.
Yeah,
we knew it was coming all week. No, but in fairness, I think for Tundra, I like the idea of this Razor opening, because Razor with the quick BKB timing, you have an eye to help accelerate the farm as well and be aggressive. It does unlock 9 to be a bit quirkier with his mid-hero pool, because you have this foundation of this 13-14 minute carry that wants to be part of the fight, that wants to be leading the charge for his team, so 9 can play behind that pocket of aggression.
When Tundra played against Alliance and they had so having the vision for Io's relocate does for you. So I'm not sure if they want to like immediately show what the mid laner is gonna be. But speaking of this Razor, this doesn't strike me as 33 hero.
This is where you bring out like the Winter Wyvern, like just because of how they play like the exit of laning phase. Enigma sure can farm aggressively. It kind of allows you to be a bit more defensive of your supports. You mentioned the BKB piercing. There isn't an innate vessel buyer. Maybe the Enigma can do it, but I wouldn't mind that. But they go
big. This is huge. So
they're flexing it as well, right between the 4 and the mid, keeping that Doom open.
Bat Rider!
All right, everything I said about aggression has kind of been answered with this this Bat Rider.
They don't have anything against the Batrider. Like, it's such a godly Batrider game. He's not afraid of any of these heroes. Once he gets to his BKB timing, this is going to be very difficult, I would like to say. OG, they're really quick with the drafting. Like, they know exactly what they want to pick. They probably expected the Zeus, because 9, he brought it out once, and I think we talked about they probably have more information from the scrims that this hero definitely looks very strong.
But also, it's a Batrider pick where OG, they've only picked it twice in the last 3 months. BZM played it twice. They lost both games. And then before that, it was 6 months ago they played it. This isn't a hero that you really associate with OG.
No.
I don't think anyone could have potentially prepped for this scenario. Maybe they've been playing in their pubs, but a bit of a surprise pick, I guess, from OG, at least in regards to recent picks.
I am still entertained by OG just not needing any bonus time. You know, it's like they are just drafting this fast, which surely if you're playing against someone that drafts that fast and so confidently with that, surely Tundra is going to be a little taken aback.
A little bit, for sure. Like when those bans come snapping in when you're drafting, you always think about, okay, they've got a pick, so they've got 30 seconds plus reserve time. You're using their time as your own time. So once you're being a bit more rapid, it is hard to deal with. I think for Tundra, they're going to be somewhat okay with this, just because as long as this bat doesn't just crush its lane and just destroy the entire map, they are going to have this quick BKB of the Doom, the Razor, and just get to play out quite a good mid game into what OG kind of needs to stall out. Yeah, BKBs are their big undoing right now.
Looking at the, I don't know about this matchup because Heavenly Jump got buffed against the Batrider. You zap him, he tries to go on you. I still feel you die in those situations. I'm not sure, I have not seen it, but if they want to go for the mid route, because I think what they're going to do is put Zeus as a 4 and Doom as a position 3. So some of the heroes left from the mid pool that can be played. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So when Batrider goes aggressive into the jungle, your Lycan natural just be playing the other side of the map. And yeah, I think you mentioned about the Heavenly Jump on Zeus. That alone could just offset this matchup because you have that additional slow time. You get to jump.
I've read this incorrect. There's a Void Spirit in the game, so he's going to be laning against Zeus most likely.
That's the thing right now. I think with the Batrider being so left field, you expect it to maybe be in the mid, but Void Spirit could easily be the off lane. Bat could easily be the off lane. We could see a version of OG for sure.
It's a possibility. I think Batrider is a better matchup.
This is where it's just Void Spirit carry Bat. Okay, no, it's not. I was gonna say they could just do some super aggressive tempo style and give him more last pick.
They love this carry Weaver. Weaver.
It is the offlane Void Spirit. All right. Okay.
Okay, it is because it sounded like a better matchup, and there's nothing that can stop this Weaver. Yeah, you're playing against Zeus, so there's going to be some vision, but even if you get doomed and you use the Shikuchi pre-that against a Razor static link, it's a godly Weaver game. This is really good.
I think for OG, it's about getting that Weaver to be godly, to join the fights with the Batrider, to make sure that every time Tundra looks to try and take an objective, they lose so many resources that they don't keep moving on forwards. But
I don't know if Amar passed his own test.
Oh, you mean on
Void?
Yeah. Check if Amar passed the Amar test.
The Amar test,
which is the test to check the Dota plus levels. I think it has to be gold. I think it had to be gold. I forgot what we said.
He's only played. He played one Void Spirit game in his pubs in the last week, and he lost it. But during that game, he's like, "Yo, this hero.
This is good."
Feels good.
He lost with Ramses as well, so he had a good carry with him. But no, he probably isn't passing the MR test right now. Maybe he's on the cusp. I think actually I've seen him play Void Spirit before.
But him taking that hero allowed for the bat, which was a godly bat pick, as you guys both said, and then Weaver as well. It feels like it doesn't really matter too much if they are able to focus so much attention on the bat itself.
It just feels like a classic OG game where they're going to be able to take some cheap fights, and eventually there's going to be this black hole turnaround. They're going to be able to survive the light threats. It is a close one.
I like it. I think Batrider can do good against the Zeus on the mid lane, and also this Void Spirit. We don't see it every day, but he has a Remnant, he has the Simulate against the static. I think should work out. I feel like they outdrafted him a little bit, and the Weaver as a carry is coming back. Always put a lot of faith in this hero, especially there's literally no pretty free game.
All right, well, let's find out if OG indeed can take this first game of this best of 3 series. We're heading over to OD Pixel and Fog.
Thank you, Steven. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to OG versus Tundra. Already as we heard from the panel, some exciting stuff coming out from OG. And overall, it's going to be interesting what Tundra can do, because obviously they are going to be able to bring quite an insane level of push.
Yes.
Now, they've got that sort of Tundra-style draft around the Lycan. But if the game kind of gets a little tricky, a little close, they don't have a lot of catch.
No, they have no. pretty much no catch for Yuragi. The Zeus can cause some problems, of course, just the vision that you can always be getting of the Weaver, but yeah, a bit of a left field. You know, people probably saying like, oh, Amar playing a Void Spirit, what going on? But look at him, he's past this. He's platinum. It's his third most played hero, actually. Yeah. We were taking a look at the stats just from pub stuff. He has a 30% win rate as it being played in the off lane, but either way, you know, they're just trying to make it so that this Bat Rider has that good match.
But no, I think that was 30% of his games were played on off lane.
30%?
He's played 30%. So he's played about how many games on the off lane?
108.
100 games of off lane Void Spirit. So he definitely qualified to bring it out here in the pro games.
Yeah, and he is 50-50, you know, 52% win rate or so on. And so yeah, we'll see how it ends up working. Versus the Razor, you can, if he is going to be in that matchup, he can maybe play around dodging, like getting out of the range of the static link a little bit, but still can be hard because you are still one of those slower heroes. Sure, Razor's 290 at start, but he's paired with Io, so he's going to be able to get the distance on top of that Void Spirit to get the links off most of the time. But yeah, they wanted this mid matchup, right? The Bat versus Zeus. Things maybe have changed slightly in the matchup because of the Heavenly Jump, but I think it's still the same thing. You get on top of him. You know, you can get a Flame Break that pushes him back during the Heavenly Jump too. You have a lot of different ways to just get on top of Zeus. So. Yeah.
Master tier bat from BZM.
Yep.
All the reason to believe that we'll see some big stuff from him around the mid. We'll see how well Nine can deal with him.
Ooh, did a wolf die? Looks like they got a wolf kill, right?
Yeah, I think there's someone back under the tower. He was scouting out.
Yeah, Misha got one. Also, he is... Or did he get the... Sorry, he got the D-ward. Apologies. Well, so he does have a little bit of luck advantage.
Top lane. Getting a good amount of damage onto Snaking here before the lane starts.
Okay. Cool. Potentially maybe going to get some courier snipes, too.
He's going to hang around. I mean, they know that he's here.
He might get both of them.
They're just
walking him right through. Him.
Easy couriers from far. I mean, they knew he was there, and they started just sending the couriers into their death.
That was just weird. Guess they're really focused on those Eidolons up there, but okay.
Yeah, focused on the lane Skeeter and Snaking, not focused on keeping their couriers alive.
Yeah. Nine, though, you know, I'm going to be looking mostly at the mid matchup because I haven't seen it since the changes. Zeus's base damage versus Bat Rider is like, you have a huge advantage, of course, and you're going to be able to play around the jump, which also, we'll have to remember, does slow cast time too. So maybe we could see that trip up some lasso plays if he's trying to get on top of him.
No, absolutely.
You could also maybe see the vacuum lasso plays that we've seen in the past where he heavenly jumps and the lasso catches him afterwards or something like that, maybe. But yeah, we'll have to see how that does play out. And looking at bottom, very comfortable matchup, 33. He's super confident on the Lycan, but this is a great lane for Yuragi. He should free farm down here as the Weaver.
How much regen do they actually have out on this top lane at the moment, Tundra? That was the last tango between the two of them. So they're going to have to be careful on their next bit of courier play. Although they cannot allow that to be sniped again by Amar.
Yeah, they've got the Headdress plus the IO, so offsets a bit of it, but yeah, definitely.
You know, he's sort of been slowly making this transition into, you know, trying things out in a different approach here with the squad. So looking forward to see how this dynamic works. And indeed, as you say, almost certainly just adaptation down to the way the lane was done. Yeah. And this was something that we did see back in the day right on Liquid with like Tiger and Boxy, right?
Yes,
there was
used to do
games where they were switching around. So of course, this is also very comfortable for Tiger as well to have this change up.
Yeah, so he'll have that much better timing if he does go for that Wraith Park, which Tiger tends to do.
And the thing is as well, right, would you sort of consider this a pretty good Enigma game, like in terms of potential black holes down the line? Now, how easy is it to stop a black hole?
I mean, there's like no stuns, right? Sure, there's a Doom that he's going to have to worry about, and the Lightning Bolt, as well as eventual Ags probably for the Zeus, but they're getting aggressive. Skeeter. Eidolons, they build up. And the regen will arrive, but I don't know if he brought a salve. They actually don't. They just have tangos up here, so it's going to be a little bit slower to top him off. Although it's an IO, so not that much slower.
Now, Mosquito's still, he's got to be careful. If Amar's able to sort of sneak in a remnant, they have got a fair bit of burst between the two of them, so They'll continue to play as safe as they can. Meanwhile, what's going on the other lanes? Anything crazy?
No, not really. A 33's been getting put pretty low. He actually had to use a salve on himself. They have the headdress to offset some damage, and of course they did find that mana aura, which is going to help them a bit. But Weaver, he should be, just like we said, totally free farming down here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, to point out as well, something that we'll probably see. Oh, mid lane, 9. He's able to get out in time. TP's back to tier 2. Perfectly fine. Still got bottle charges and 1 charges, so he can stick around in the lane.
Constantly a threat of dying, though. Yeah. Whenever fire flies up, whenever he gets like 2 or 3 sticky stacks, he kind of has to jump himself all the way back to his tower. It will allow BZM to take the opposing bounty and up.
Ooh, if that remnant caught him there, Skeeter would have been going down for sure. Snaking, he was able to tank it and also tether back over towards Skeeter, so the two of them alive, but only just. You know, we are starting to see that again. This sort of change up. You know, Tiger and Amar, they're playing this lane very, very well. Over into the mid 9, and the stacks built up onto him, but again with that heavenly jump at the ready, he's back under the safety of his tower. And he'll be able to live to see another day.
Might have to go back though.
Bottom lane, Saxa, he's got the bugs on him. Shikuchi in from Uragi, and finally first blood will fall. Misha taking down Saxa.
Almost. Zeus is 6, doesn't quite have the mana for the ult, but Uragi is in kill threshold still at the moment. Looks like he is going to be able to get into the threshold of being safe.
Yeah, it should be okay with that. The Tango's coming in.
Yep. Next aggressive move, though, I think that OG is going to have to just constantly be thinking about that Zeus ult. They probably were saying it as well. That's why they were making sure that he heals up quickly. BZM might call over for a support to look for this next rune, because if he gets any of the, I mean, if he gets pretty much any power rune, he should have a pretty good kill possibility on
top lane. A lot of damage on Snaking with the Eidolons. They've taken him out.
They're really making this work. These Eidolons really hurt.
Well, they're doing a good job of it, and we're seeing sort of the level difference as well between what the carriers are getting. Of course, all of these denies. The Tiger's getting out the top lane. You know, we're going to see Skeeter have a bit of a slower time on the XP. He's about full level behind that of Uragi on the other side of the map.
Regen rune for BZM. He's able to actually force 9 away from it immediately. So he's going to be able to refill his bottle and continue having that great mid matchup. Right now, OG looking good in the 3 lanes.
I mean, mid 9's doing very well.
He is.
Right, you know, I think 9's going to be happy with how much farm he's getting from this. He's going to have good levels, and as a Zeus, you know, always has that ability to TP, and especially if OG start diving, he's going to have heavy amounts of damage early on.
But missing out on bottle refills constantly, right? Even Saxa now coming over and taking the other 2 bounty runes. He does have his defensive bounty to get, but...
Oh, Saxa! Oh, he's not even going to be able to get the 1 courier, not quite able to get a second hit on it.
No boots. Very slow.
Or maybe with the Wolves. There we go. 33 will make sure that they are able to take one of the couriers down, and actually Misha kind of getting blocked in a bit.
Oh, his own creeps acting against him, actually. But 33 is getting turned on instead.
I mean, same time in the mid lane, Stacks out to TP over to keep 9 protected. With the bugs out, 33 will take them off. But Uragi and Misha, they'll have to kill. They get 33 out of the bottom lane.
It's such a good Weaver game, really. And him getting this early advantage, too. I see he's already queued up the Maelstrom. I could see potential him going for even Gleipnir this game, since he's playing versus the Lycan, giving them extra catch and stuff. Could be decent. See, I know he really likes the item build, too, on the Weaver, so maybe it could be something that he does opt for.
See in the mid, Saxa is coming for a bit of a wraparound, but they know that this is happening, OG. So, not really much that Saxa can do coming in from this angle. In fact, he himself has to be a bit careful. Nisha's out with the dual breaths, and Saxa has to keep his distance. BZM able to safely bring the creep wave around and continue to farm.
Cool, the Misha went for the urn. I think this is an item that's also obviously bought in most games, but I think it's an item that's even more on the rise, even for 5 positions because of the salve changes. I actually really like urn right now. Power rune. Double checking top Tundra, just really trying to make sure that 9 gets this next one. Since it's not going to be a regen, it's going to be one of those better ones. It's an arcane for BZM.
That's a nice one for the bat.
Are scanning.
And of course would have been a lovely one for the Zeus.
Yeah.
9. It's going to be a bit sad that he missed out on that one. Getting unlucky with the RNG.
Toxa wants to make a play top. They have the Zeus ult available. Both heroes sitting a bit low.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I'm trying to start things on Amar, but TPs are coming in. Both for the 2 of them very, very low now. BZM getting aggressive with the Arcane Rune. Amar taken down here from the burst of the Thunder God's Wrath. But BZM will get Skeeter in return, still holding on to the lasso. He could absolutely look for more. He'll look to run down Stacks, so he doesn't even need to use the lasso for that one either. Double kill for BZM off the back of that rotation. Over in the mid 9, he's underneath the tower. He'll get the kill, but he'll lose his life for it. Uragi TP's over, and he'll be the one to clean up the enemy mid.
That's a lot of experience going their way. Getting the kill on the Zeus as well, getting the Razor. BZM also, as you mentioned, he saved Lasso, so he even wants to go for another.
He's still good to go on the top lane.
He's gonna have boots of travel any minute now, too. Perfect TP from the Batrider. So already 3 successful lanes, and they're getting active early on already.
Could certainly become a bit of a handful for Tundra. You know, as we said during the draft, there's just not... They haven't got a lot of catch. So if OG start to run around and run ahead, it may be hard for Tundra to slow them down. So what they can get out of this.
Might be able to get a Mar, it looks like.
Vanished to the void.
But not the big kill.
At the same time, bottom lane, 33's trying to get out with the ultimate. Uragi, he's got to attempt to chase. I think 33 is going to have that safe movement advantage. Indeed, he's out of there, so won't end up going down.
First Lycan ult, though, is used to completely just escape rather than pressuring or going for any type of kill. He actually just has to run away. I say that, Misha almost dies to the wolf. Turning it, but we'll be okay. So really good early aggression coming out from OG. And if you look at the supports on the side of Tundra, they kind of need their cores to have a good game to be able to make moves. BZM?
Yeah, he's gone back in on this one. I mean, he's looking pretty dead here. Tried to poke back there at 9. I guess around for the potential of maybe being able to grab the power in, but as it was, the power in ends up being top. Bottom, relocate comes in. Skip is able to get in range with the slow. That will allow them to take the kill against Misha.
All right, they punch back. They do see the spot where the relocate's coming back. Snaking will be safe, though. Skeeter will be okay. So down bottom. So interesting to point out, we've seen a couple Zeus games now. This time it is a max Heavenly Jump game. Makes sense because he's playing versus the Batrider, but not even a value point in the Lightning Bolt. Maybe that's what caught BZM off guard, because he got hit by the Heavenly Jump in a 2.5 second slow. It's pretty significant this early on. Like to see the variety of these heroes that have gotten some little bits of reworks in top. More action.
Yeah, Tundra definitely want a fight to happen here. They've got 4 heroes turning up the top left. They're already Amar.
Oh my God. The Eidolons.
I mean, Amar just leads in underneath. I said that 4 heroes of Tundra. He just gets in, sets up on the carry, and Skeeter's gone.
Saksa also.
And Amar, he's looking for more. He's already jumping back, forcing Snaking away, catches him back with the Remnant, setting up here for OG to find a 3rd. They just get in and break down Tundra one by one.
Nice urn usage there, too. You use the urn, so you get the 2 charges back. A little aggressive play coming out from Misha, so he gets the extra value coming in. A lot of burst damage. It really is so much damage that comes out from the side of OG.
Same time down bottom, I know that 33 is ults on cooldown. So not only getting the kills up top, but BZM heading down bottom to help Uragi take down 33. OG back on form, getting these kill after kills. And Tundra, it looked as if they were intending to set up on that top lane, but they just weren't ready for OG to fight.
BZM still hasn't used Lasso with any of these rotations, too. He still got it up. That down bottom, he didn't really have the mana, didn't even need it either. So, still hanging on to it. Rune will spawn bottom. 9 will find probably the best one that he can this game, the Haste Rune, so he can get away from that bat. But yeah, early aggression, OG. With this little switch up for the Void Spirit playing now this 4/5 position, it's really working out. Yeah, Taiga, these Eidolons, they are no joke how much damage they do early on. With the Vlad's aura, too.
If they keep this up, definitely could make a case for the drafting, teams drafting against OG to be even harder. We've seen multiple times, right, that the teams will just ban out Amar's heroes, all these offlane heroes, and Amar's response is, well, joke's on you, I wasn't going to play offlane anyway.
Yeah, and there's no stuns, really. We have to keep reiterating on the side of Tundra. It's going to be hard for them to just make some of these comeback plays without any forms of disable. It's going to have to come later on with like a Blink Doom with a Centaur stomp if he's able to get to that point. Yeah, making moves is going to be difficult, and a Razor being shut down this early. He's the bottom of the pack.
Look at the smoke here, Mom. BZM ready to go.
Dire's middle tower
Top lane, Tundra, they weren't ready for OG to strike at them last time round. We'll see if they're going to be any more ready this time. BZM, he's in this time. We'll drop the lasso. We'll see Snaking try and take them out. They're in with the Remnant. They've got the burst. He's still out in time.
Just kidding.
They're able to get out there with the relocate. They will save him with the turn up and 9. They're able to take down Amar. Back over in the mid, Saxa found the opportunity to drop down the Doom onto Misha. He'll run him down underneath the tower. Tundra, this time round, they're prepared. They're ready to respond. They're the ones taking 2 kills. They don't lose anyone themselves, at least not straight away. Uragi might be able to find Saxa with the cleanup. 33's going to head over, though, and Uragi has to be a bit careful about how he stands his ground. Had to use the time lapse. That last proc of the Maelstrom will allow him to take the kill on Saxa. 33 is going to look to try and get out of it, but Tiger's in with the Black Hole. Make sure that there's no chance of 33 to run away.
Mid lane looks like they still want to keep trying for Skeeter.
Amar's got the connection onto Skeeter. He's in with the Remnant. Again, back under the tower. Snaking and Skidder will stay fine. Tiger ready to start getting the push going, and he has that Wraith pack complete. 14 minutes in.
So there's a little interaction in this game that we have to watch out for also. If I was actually just watching this earlier, if they bat rider lasso a target and he eighth the remnants the same lasso target, it actually breaks lasso. So something else we'll have to watch out for. It's kind of weird interactions, but it looks like some people have found a couple of these. Any of these fears, we call them, are actually things that break your own teammate's lasso. Didn't happen in that last situation, but could see it potentially happen. But OG, the really good start here still, 1k gold lead.
I mean, the concerning thing as well, the most concerning thing for Tundra is the fact that Uragi, he's getting
Massive.
it so farmed.
And it's a
top
free
of the
game
net
for
worth
him.
by quite a bit, and indeed, it's a great weave again. Once he has the Lincolns and the Maelstroms for these core 2 items, he's going to continue to scale at a tempo that Tundra's going to struggle to keep up with. This weaver's going to be a problem.
And Saksa is not having a great game either, right? So even him getting a good blink stomp timing, which is ideally what he wants, it's been slowed down significantly because of this early aggression that OG's putting on. And OG, they're not slowing down. They're looking for plays. They're looking to keep getting this tower advantage, even though they're the ones playing versus Lycan.
See how Tundra is prepared for this sort of move. This blink from BZM might just catch 9 off guard. He's in straight away. He's got the lasso dragged off to the side. No chance for any sort of save for 9. Bottom lane sneaking. He gets out, but that last bit of damage on Mars there ready and wait and takes him down. Skidder has to TP out. He's only just going to get away from this one, so he will live. But OG once again, a couple of kills from the mid to the bottom, and keeping these waves pushed in. Should be close to being able to pressure some of these tier 1 towers.
I like that he went for the blink dagger instead of like the usual BKB rush on bat. There's nothing he needs to get a BKB for. Like he doesn't need to like BKB because a Sand King stun is coming or anything like that. He just gets the blink. We see he's got the Witchblade queued up as well. We've seen BZM do that in the past. This is one of his builds that he's done on the Bat Rider a couple times.
He's going to show himself in the mid. Snake King's ready to help out, but they want to jump in for this one. Uragi's coming in with the side with the bug. They put the max. Saxa turns, drops the Doom down onto Uragi, but Uragi, he's just going to look to walk this one off.
They have nothing to catch him at all. Saksa will somehow survive though, Snaking. With the Mac does keep him up.
Now that's Doom gone for 2 minutes, and already for a team with a lack of lockdown,
that kind of is their lockdown.
That's all they have, and it's going to be gone for 2 minutes. So
BZM?
Could be difficult for Tundra to make moves now. They're going to look for BZM. He does actually get caught here close to the burst of 9. So big catch. See if they can get more. 33 trying to chase for Misha. Misha's going to opt for the TP out. They got anything to stop it? They do. Another lightning bolt comes out from 9. Quick moves from Tundra there. And they'll take out the 2 of them. They'll actually start to push up themselves around 33, and his Wolves, they're the ones to take the tier 1 mid first.
Who still does have a very good timing on his helm, as we see popped up there. Helm of the Overlord was finished on. So early aggression, maybe too much aggression this time from BZM, getting close to the Zeus, gets caught by that slow from the Heavenly Jump and does get turned on quickly. Both teams matching each other's aggression though, 14-9.
Close
more
on the
aggressive
gold.
games. Yeah, the War Drum aura. We used to see people picking this up for the accuracy at times versus some of these evasions, but...
Tiger. They're poking at him from a distance. The Wraith back down, and Amar is going to jump forward, try and stop these on the 33. We're going to see BZM go straight towards 9, but the Heavenly Jump gets 9 out to the side.
He gets reload out as well, even on top. They really wanted to get him out. Uragi will even stop the TP, I believe, that was going toward top. So that does stop the aggression from OG.
Tundra fully set up around the jungle just in case OG came hunting for more, but wasn't to be the case. OG back up over towards the mid lane. Tundra, they smoke over from their jungle. See what sort of a catch they can get, but already in the mid, Skeeter's been jumped. They're in with the lasso. Skeeter's not going to get any sort of save coming in time. Now Saxon jumps forward. He's in on top of BZM because he doesn't have the Doom to drop. He'll turn his attention over towards Amar. Misha, Uragi, and BZM, they're chasing down 9.
Okay.
Get the connection with the dual breath. Standing next to Snaking, it should be okay for a little longer, but Uragi, it's right-click damage, forcing 9 to have to jump back underneath the tower. He has to retreat.
These wolves with this aura from the ancient Thunderhide is actually insane. Oh, sorry, Rumble Hide, because it's a different one than usual. Look how fast they attack. This is something that we haven't seen done, at least not utilizing the attack speed bonus that works on your creeps. This is really interesting. He's actually getting a lot done with this.
Uragi. He's going to try for snaking, and he's close to having it. They'll get it with the flame break. But the Thunder God's Wrath, they're looking to turn again. Tundra.
Damage.
They're just able to roll over OG. BZM dead again in the river.
Tower is under attack.
Some of these fights now, OG buying off a bit more that they can chew.
It's so It's such a fast-paced game. It's 17-13. Everyone's just matching the aggression.
That's getting very, very close now. Tundra.
Radiant's
Last few
top tower
fights,
is under attack.
showing their ability to stand their ground and take down heroes with them.
But Skeeter is really struggling, and the core-to-core matchup, it's not that easy for him. Ideally, like, he wants to be able to find some target to link, but Weaver is never going to be one of those easy targets to go for, especially if you don't have any forms of lockdown to keep him in that link, which they just do not have. Yuragi just continuing to be at the top of the board. Lincoln's, as you mentioned, done on his way to a Dragonlance, level 17 on this Weaver already.
Is under attack.
The Weaver problem is certainly growing it.
17 Weaver, 11 on the Razor. So that's just a massive disparity coming up for the Razor.
Over around the ward spot, they'll get a quick jump on Snaking. Snaking out for a minute. Mark very close to having his item done. He's going for the Yules.
And Misha's about to have Vessel done also. So versus that healing that's been tripping them up a couple times from the IO, it's going to be addressed.
Sacks up. Yeah, he's got Doom at the ready.
Radiant's top tower.
He wants to look for a blink opportunity.
He's actually level 12 somehow on Soxa. He's the same level as Skeeter.
Yeah, those last few fights he's been able to keep up, just staying alive, picking up the XP from the kills.
And he's got Fey Grenade. Really important thing to always point out when you're playing versus the Lincolns on the Weaver. So now he has Blink, Fey Grenade, he has the Stomp as well. So now they have ways to potentially be able to team fight a little bit easier. Before it did look quite complicated. Meanwhile, the other side though, OG, they have the Blink on the Enigma, so double forms of initiation for them too. And BZM has switched up. Not going to go for the Witchblade. He's going to be going for his BKB on the Batrider, the usual build. He wanted to go the Witchblade, though. I've seen him do it before.
Yeah, even if they don't necessarily have the control, you still can't underestimate how much damage 9 might be able to get off in a team fight. Now, if you're not able to jump the Zeus, 9, he's going to tear through you with the amount of magical damage Zeus can do from a safe distance.
Yeah, you don't need the Witchblade. Look, I keep mentioning just because it's BZM, I know he likes the build, but this is just, this is what you need to build to get into the backlines. Get on, you pick and choose your target. You don't need to worry about anything when you do get that, of course.
Dire's
smoked up, Tundra.
Under attack.
I want to get something done with Saxa. Here they can find. Just going to close the gap on Misha. Misha able to put the Essence Ring on turn. He'll get his spells off Misha. He will still die, but that's going to cost them Saxa and the Tiger. She's going to throw down the black hole to lock down Skeeter. Skeeter got the BKB off, and it will now start to retreat. Yuragi trying to chase, but 33 with his army. He is taking them down one by one. Yuragi has to pop the time lapse. It's OG again that's really suffering in the extension of these team fights. It starts off with them being able to get a quick turnaround kill onto Saxa, but as the fight persists, if they're not killing these cores, if 9's able to get the damage off, and if 33's able to freely run around, they do struggle.
They had to use the lasso to stop the relocate during the black hole. They had to use it onto that IO, and then they can't actually finish off the IO, so he gets the mech off. The Razor's able to get all of his abilities off as well. So a bit of a weird fight that they're trying to force a bit here, but it was Tundra who gets the better initiation.
Yeah, we saw Skeeter as well. Quick stuff there, getting the BKB off as soon as the intention was shown with the Malefice first, making sure that there wouldn't be any overwhelming magical damage coming through during that black hole, so he could easily live.
Very important one for Skeeter. Level 15 now, he's completely kind of caught up in the game. Not the same level of the Weaver, but needed this type of fight win to get that XP. And Doom's still available, so Tundra's still feeling confident to look for something.
BZM might have to be careful in the mid lane. Saxa
is under attack.
not quite able to keep him ranged there for the Centaur Stomp.
This is so battle heavy. 34 kills, 23 minutes.
33's ready to go.
Another move.
He's going to pop the ult. He's going to start charging down. Was Tiger already up in the air. Skeeter gets held back and controlled by Amar with the Yules into Remnant. The Tundra, they want to keep chasing. 33's going to see if he can catch anybody else, but this time round, what we're seeing, so that the benefits of most of OG's heroes, they have that elusivity. Yuragi, it's actually going to be able to pop the link as he get the Doom down, Saxa, but he's pretty deep away from him. Still Saxa blinks in, trying his best to stay on top of Yuragi. They've got the slow as well from Skeeter with the BKB. He's able to dive in under the tier 2 tower. They take him down. Excellent jump there from Saxa, finding that Doom opportunity through the Lincolns with that Fey Grenade, as you said. That's exactly what they needed. He's able to get in and then get get them a huge kill.
And it's persistence really that lets them get this. They're gonna likely lose 33 on the back of all of it, but knowing they might get a kill actually on the trade.
He's almost certainly going to be in trouble here. They get on top of him. BZM's going to try with the lasso. Has got the BKB, so he can come out to 9, but 9.
He's still alive.
He's got the Thunder God's Wrath off. It's 3 dead on Misha, and Misha's getting to the side. 9's going to be able to clean up this Jakiro with a couple more rounds of lightning. There we go. It's a team wipe. Tundra outplaying OG in these team fights right now.
And it's I like the persistence that they're doing this. They're like, Black Hole was down, Lasso was down. They knew how aggressive they could play. Look how much damage this Zeus is able to do in the fight.
He's
a big problem.
He's getting this positioning perfectly down. He's 8-3 and 10. Excellent KDA, especially when you consider, OG, sure, they've got a lot of mobility to avoid fights, but they've got a lot of mobility to get on top of him. And 9, he's just not being caught as much as OG needs to catch him.
No, and it's every little thing, right? Everything matters. Kaya-san, so he has this little bit of extra status resist that does allow him to get his essence ring off, positions himself better so he gets all his spells off. Great fights, Tundra. Really recognizing and playing around those cooldowns of OG, in particular that Black Hole.
Yeah, OG were getting a little bit of a lead off the laning stage. Looked like they had the hold and they were leading the way, but Tundra, these last few team fights, just sort of showing that OG's got to step it up a bit. Tundra in a little bit of a cleaner form so far in this mid-game.
I mean, Skeeter's like fixing, as the team kind of fixing him for this game. He's level 19. Weren't we just mentioning he's level 11 he was 4 minutes ago?
He was level 11 to Uragi's level 17. And now he's, level 19 to Uragi's level 20. He's only 1 level behind. Moments ago, he was 6 levels behind. So Skeeter, those last few fights, recovered immaculately.
Yeah. Full refresher done. AC queued up next. Starting to get a bit harder for OG when they don't have those cooldowns. I think they need to try to slow down the pace of the game a little bit because of just relying on those cooldowns a bit more.
Dire are scanning.
Are smoked up though. Lasso's about to be ready. Black Hole's ready, so they could look for a fight now on OG.
We're going to try and go for Saxa. There's any chance of helping the Doom out there? Isn't Saxa goes down, but he's able to bring Amar with him. Now over to the side, Misha also just gets run down by Skeeter. He's going to buy back because Tundra, they're going to continue this chase here. Skeeter's in with the BKB. He's going to look straight towards Tiger. That's a dead Enigma.
Oh, what a comeback.
I mean, Skeeter is, he really has. This is a beautiful comeback. This game from him on the Razor.
And they're still ready to fight.
I mean, they're going to look towards Roche. Tundra's going to consider this. Poked out a second buyback really in the last 30 seconds there. Amar on top of Misha also coming back into the game.
They're on 9.
They found him with the Gleipnir. PZM in on top of him, but he's going to opt for the TP out, and it's this time round that OG, they don't have any way to catch him.
And he's going to have his Ags finished up on the Zeus now too, so he can contribute in this fight.
I mean, Skeeter's just going to go charging straight towards BZM. BZM has to put the BKB to try and get away. So the refresher come out, Yules into remnant control from Amar to lock back Skeeter, gives him the chance to get in and take down Snaking. But Uragi, he's surrounded. The Doom is able to find the opportunity to drop the Doom down onto him. He's dead for sure. There's no way to keep this man alive. They've got to look for the deny. They're not even able to do that. The kill still goes the way of Saxa. And Tundra, they're looking for more. With the refresh already popped, Skeeter has that second round of BKB, charges down Misha. OG just getting crushed in every single fight now that they try and bring against Tundra. Tundra 25 to 23, 7k up. We'll see off to the side. Saxa being held back once more by Amar.
And now Roche, they're not going to be able to contest this on the side of OG. 2 heroes dead. No buyback on the Jakiro. And this is an easy one for Tundra when they have the Lycan up. Gonna drop in no time. 9 gets away. He's gonna be able to come back into the fights now. About to be level 20 as well too, so getting that big talent. Yeah, look at this XP graph.
Yeah, this is a really excellent Dota here from Tundra.
That actually just tells such a big tale of how the game was going. And now they'll add a little bit of extra stuns that they kind of needed. The lightning bolt stun talent coming in, so having the Aghanim's will give them a little bit of further control perhaps for the Weaver.
And we've seen, Saxa, he's very much been showing, you know what, doesn't matter, we lack the lockdown, I will find those opportunities to catch the Weaver, get the Doom. He's done it twice now, both times resulting in a big kill against Shiragi.
Good old Fake Grenade, that item, the only item that still breaks Lincolns from the neutrals. Able to get it on top of him perfectly. AK lead. Zeus will take out. Taiga.
Bit of a dangerous part of the map for him to be in. Cost him his life.
He can't even get his BKB farmed up yet. He just keeps getting hunted 1, 5, and 8. Saxa already has a BKB somehow after all these nice plays. Yeah, the pace of the game, Tundra, they really kicked it up a notch after the last few moments.
And we'll see if OG, can they find some sort of way to slow Tundra back down?
It's starting to feel pretty hard for them to have the damage solution for everything. For the IO heals to offset it, to kill the Lycan, to kill the Razor, this Doom. Like, everybody is a bit tanky. Even a Zeus is not a squishy hero at this point. 2,600 HP on 9. Everybody is quite formidable. It's starting to feel a little bit like this black hole is going to be one of the only answers for OG to come back.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah,
is
once the
under attack.
BKB is there, definitely a game where there is huge possibility from Tiger. Top lane, look who it is again. Saxa,
He is just so on point.
scored him
Under attack.
every single time, and indeed a well-earned tip there from his teammate 9. I mean, Saxa, he's had Yuragi's number every single time.
OG?
He's just completely destroyed there. One stun and he's gone.
And now an AC as well on Skeeter. Fight's just going to get harder and harder and harder.
11k lead now. Aegis still in the hands of Skeeter as well. They're ready to go high ground. There's 2 dead on OG and they don't have buyback.
Look at 33. He's carrying the ceremonial robe for his team. Something you will not see anybody ever do in a pub.
Radiant's bottom tower.
But wanting
is
to
under
make sure that his
attack.
other cores get to carry the better items.
I mean, they can't defend this.
No, they cannot.
This Rax is going. They don't want to throw bodies in on this one, OG. They've got to just let this fall. Tundra.
There's no BKB Enigma, so no chance to be able to even attempt for a team fight. And playing into
Radiant's
Aegis.
bottom barracks has fallen.
And we go 30 minutes in. Tundra, they'll take the first set of Rax. And straight away, they're not slowing down. And we're ready to clean up the other 2 lanes, the mid and the top. Start working towards that next tier 2. And they've still got plenty of time to do so. 2 minutes on the Aegis still for Skeeter.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Very much going to feel in an incredibly comfortable spot now, Tundra. They know that this second half of the game, they've had full control. Constantly getting further and further ahead. Over on the side of OG, sure, you know, Yuragi, he's got good farm, but Skeeter completely taking over from him now. And the other 2 cores, BZM and Tiger this game, playing the 3 for OG. They're falling behind, and their only way back in is going to be these huge ultimate plays, or these sort of, you know, lasso grabs close to their base. Out on the map, it's just Tundra's fight to win every single time.
Absolutely. And Doom, it's going to be back up in about 20 seconds. Saxa is already on the prowl.
Gonna get a quick catch on Misha. Caught under the Nimbus. Nowhere for Misha to go.
They even see Yuragi right now running. Attempting to go for a catch. 33 actually the one to kind of cut him off. Won't be able to get him though. All 3 lanes pushing in. Map completely constricted for OG. They can't get any farm now. So yeah, it really feels like we're gonna have to watch for some lasso plays up to some high grounds.
Yep.
Tiger with some big black holes attempting to catch a lot of heroes, it does feel like, on Tundra. It does feel like they are going to be lacking a bit of damage to go through all 3 cores.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So Tiger and BZM, they've been falling behind.
Yep.
Their chance to redeem themselves off the back of some huge ultimate plays.
And BZM, of course, as we said, I was saying, he loves the build, buys the shard, he's got the Witchblade, he's got the attack during the lasso, he's trying to get this type of scaling. Don't know if it's going to work, but
he's also got the quiver.
It's
It's a lot of magical damage.
it is.
He's got to get those grabs.
But soon the Lincolns will be out also for Skeeter. Wonder if they're going to build multiple Lincolns for themselves as well, too. Right now, not seeing it, but...
OG's going to try and smoke out for this one. They've got the BKB done on Yuragi.
Okay, let's see what they can get. It does not feel like an easy fight whatsoever.
I mean, how long until the Aegis? Okay, Aegis has gone in 5 seconds. OG's trying to time it with this, but there's the jump stacks. He just gets in straight away onto Amar. Amar taken out immediately. Tiger's going to go with the jump, but he's got the black hole just on the one hero. Skeeter is able to live through this. Saxa will drop the Doom down onto Tiger to put a stop to the black hole. OG just getting torn apart one by one once again, and they're going to call it. They know that they can't turn this one around. GG is called. Tundra will take this game 1.
Radiant's middle tower.
And honestly, yeah, that
Back, yeah, on
the
the foot of
second
that,
half
man.
of this was just... It turned into a stomp.
It did.
It really did. Tundra just crushed OG from sort of what, like the 15 minutes onwards.
Yeah, it was 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Game
like
was
20 minutes,
slightly
yeah.
leading for OG, and then just completely downhill. It seems like they got the timings. They got the blink on Saxa, Skeeter.
Dire team
Так оно
back.
случилось, но глобально это очень плохо.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Hello! Welcome back. We are ready for game number 2 of this best of 3 series, and we hope you are too. And we hope that you also need a shade from this bright light. it's pretty bright lights here in the studio. Sorry, on the camping.
Oh, don't fly away.
We have draft ready. Draft penalties gone, by the way. Everything solved, everything good.
10 seconds
And therefore,
remaining.
we got both teams looking healthy on the bonus time. We have first pick this
5
time around going the way of
seconds
Tundra. They are Dire side, and that means it's exactly the same as last time, which means, I think, I know OG lost, but I think what they wanted to achieve was get the overall. What? Are we watching a replay? Get the overall last pick going maybe a little bit different. There is a little bit. No, there's no change whatsoever. There's no change whatsoever.
The difference is, will Amar find farm this game?
No, the difference is will Amar play Void Spirit? Because it might still be BZM now playing Void Spirit.
No, yeah, I'd be down for that. I wouldn't mind BZM playing the Void Spirit. I'm sure, you know, Amar's early game was perfectly fine. I think even the farm priority was
Yeah, those couriers, like they
couriers are
could
great.
kill 2 couriers, then they couldn't get the couriers to deliver items, and the lane was already at the tier 1 tower for Enigma.
Yeah, I think I like the adaptation with OG banning out the Zeus, but you know, again, jokes aside, I wouldn't be opposed to the same thing happening in regards to farm priority if it has to come to that. Just because like the early game was fine, it was
10
simply
seconds
OG
remaining.
forcing their lead a bit too hard into a Tundra that was
5
about to hit a
seconds
pivotal timing in their game, and then Tundra just never making a mistake, right? So I think as many memes that can be created from this, I think overall it's still somewhat acceptable, and I wouldn't be opposed to seeing the same kind of distribution. But anyways,
It is pretty fun to see that both teams open with the same thing, because it kind of means that we get to learn a little bit more about the mindset of the teams, like where they thought the problems lay in the first game. And so far, of course, the Zeus ban out here, very telling. That was one of the heroes that OG considered to be a problem.
Definitely was a problem. Like Zeus becomes extremely tanky, especially with Kaya's Sanj build and with the Heavenly Jump being
10 seconds
maxed out. That
remaining.
means 10-second cooldown. Like you can maneuver in these fights, and if there's like any kind of stun, any kind of help that you can stop anyone from jumping on top of him, that means that Zeus is gonna survive. And also, like, it was a decent amount, decent timing on the Aghanim Scepter. Like, this is not your Zeus year and a half, 2 years ago when you're gonna rush the item, but still having another global presence if you're not in a fight just contributes so much to your damage output in terms of like team fight. And then you get close with a TP, like you don't have to be
5
there
seconds
immediately.
remaining.
the slight shift in bans from Tundra, they banned Bloodseeker in this phase. Last time they banned PA, and OG, they obviously they banned out the Zeus. They had the options of previous game, it was Visage, Rubik. Now they actually ban out the Doom, which is Jakiro again from OG. So even the bans are changing. They're keeping the same heroes. It's clearly a strategy they're comfortable with. It's just, you know, Tundra had a little bit of an edge in regards to how they countered that strategy.
I think it's important to note that the Visage indeed not banned out. So
That's
far,
good.
we've seen a lot of Visage / Zoo heroes in general coming out from 33. We had the
5
Lycan in the
seconds
previous
remaining.
game. Let's see which road Tundra is going to go, because they know what's coming at this point.
Yeah, it could just be like Visage Rubik. Yeah, there's Rubik, then the Visage coming in after. I'm gonna go Lycan, sure. But Rubik, of course, was banned out in the previous game. When you have Enigma, you have Jakiro, it just makes this Rubik have such an enjoyable game. We've not seen a lot of Rubiks until, you know, recently when these big team fighters are slowly coming back, and yeah, they're Lycan once again.
I will tell you, this is the long con as well, but do you want to, because this is some mind games for next drafts, because now they've shown that they favor Lycan over Visage, meaning Visage might not be banned in upcoming series, and then they can kill it. So,
I feel like if you're against Tundra though, it's Beast, Visage, and Lycan. They all do the same thing for this team, you know?
Sure.
But they're all equally as scary. I love the mind games. You're 100% correct.
And if you don't have any kind of vision coming out from your offlane, then Saksa's going to be playing Monkey King 4, being on the trees all all the time, being very obnoxious. But pretty similar lineup for both of these teams, like exact same one for OG. This Rubik also, I'm gonna say, kind of blocks the Weaver pick, because it's one of the better heroes against it. You steal Shikuchi, and then you can set things up from Invis. Just feels really nice.
Do we see Batrider? Come on, OG. This was the pick you did last time.
Yeah,
Not bad.
I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna pick something different and put Void Spirit on the mid.
That would mean that they would have to secure. Well, they have overall last pick. They already know what their safe laner is gonna lane against, so they would probably at this point pick their safe lane.
Kunkka kind of comes to mind for me, just because the counter to Lycan IO. The issue is just this Razor, which kind of is the thorn in the side. It would completely mitigate Kunkka's desire to stand in the fight, but they go for a Monkey King.
Do we like that? You both are a little, you know, lost
It's just a really strong lane, right? It's going to be some Monkey King Jakiro lane with a Lycan. Lycan's going to use some wolves to skip some creeps. You're going to be playing by the tower. I think it just secures OG's lane, and also at high ground, going into a Wukong's plus a Black Hole and the Ice Buff, like it just solidifies OG's comeback potential that they've sometimes relied on in some of their games.
OG can choose where they want to take the fights with the Midnight Pulse, with the Jakiro ulti, and also Wukong's command, so they can like block off entrances where Tundra's not gonna go in. Also, we've seen in the previous series Monkey King, when paired up with any kind of like slow or stun, what he can do. He's very sustainable in terms of like trading hits because of the Jingu, and I don't think this lane's gonna cause him much trouble. Like in Rubik against Monkey plus Jakiro, this is gonna be a killer lane for OG.
I think the main thing for Tundra is that they have the same recipe for their lineup, right? It's going to be this BKB Refresher Razor. It's going to be the Lycan with the Helm of Overlord or whatever, and just they go, right? Like minute 20, 22, 23, OG needs to be ready for this moment in the game. If they if they slip up, they have the same lineup that can just get crushed, like what happened in game 1. But even if they have a lead, lose 2 free fights, you suddenly lose your base, right? OG need to be mindful of that in their final pick. Under they ban out the puck, I wouldn't be surprised if they ban out just more elusive lane skipping heroes that can prevent that timing.
Well, so are we thinking Void Spirit will be played by Amar, or are we thinking Amar is going to get the last pick here? It's like, what offlaner you want to play here?
I would prefer an offlaner for Amar. They tried something different, like worked out in the laning stage better than I expected after I saw it. But it's a very good Void Spirit game because there's not much lockdown. Like this Void Spirit doesn't care about the Razor Ario or Lycan. The only stun that they have is Rubik's Lift and whatever he steals. But yeah, he can definitely play around it.
Out of the more typical Amar heroes that are not banned, Underlord is of course still in the pool, but Tundra is still banning out mid heroes now also with the Queen of Pain.
Is this the game?
Like, are they banning out against something in particular where they know that once they pick this mid?
I mean, Tundra's a game up, right? This could be the game where they reveal like the mid arc again. I'm just thinking like Puck, Quap, super aggressive mid heroes. These bans are kind of tailoring more towards a greedier 9 pick, unless it's just a Razor mid, but I'm kind of feeling they're going to surprise us with a little bit of quirkiness coming from 9 here.
Well, you mentioned that Arc is one of the ones that he's been seemingly practicing in his pubs. How does an Arc Warden lane against the Void Spirit?
You're just going to farm, isn't it? You're just going to go for some Maelstrom, Atos like Gleipnir, join the rest of your team, take the fights. But yeah, I feel like something's afoot here with Tundra. Something's going to happen. I mean, they're going to pick a hero. That's going to happen for sure.
I mean, something is going to happen.
So,
if it's that way, maybe in 1.5 minutes. They got a lot of reserves.
No, but like, I mean, it's going to be like cool, all right? It's not going to be some like...
No pressure.
If it's a DK, we're going to be bored, right? It's like, oh, DK. But come on. Don't do us like this, Tundra.
Get us something new and spicy in the mid lane. This is something every time we talk about Tundra, it comes up.
Could be the Rubik as well. He's played this in the mid lane as well. It's a banging Rubik game, so maybe they can even pick a support hero that looks like it's a mid, but it's actually the 4.
I mean, Saxa still has plenty of heroes in the pool he can play.
I mean, he's raising his eyebrows like, you're taking my Rubik? The double flex, the clock and the Rubik, both 4 in mid.
Alright, this is Clockwork for people who didn't read the patch notes, and I believe there's a bunch of them.
It's like Clockwork mid, right?
Yeah, it might be Clockwork mid. And you also have like another way of stopping the Black Hole if he doesn't cast the Black Hole on top of himself. Like you need to find, depends how that's gonna go, but having a BKB piercing ability, maybe go from the behind. I still feel like this Void Spirit can be played in the mid lane. Like he's not afraid of any of these heroes. Like you don't care about Clockwork. Like, you have so much free time, and in the first, I don't know, 10 minutes, I don't think you should die.
See, something did happen, guys. Tundra did pick a cool hero.
That's true. Yeah, it could be the Clockwork in the mid, it could be the Rubik in the mid.
I feel like it's more clock in the mid now, just because also like Monkey King core, the rocket's there to find him, the setup, the fact that your timings are going to be super nice. Your Rubik doesn't need to be mid to have a good game. Like, I think everyone's going to be pretty content with this. Again, the 20-minute timing of Tundra is what I'm focusing on, and their ability to group up. OG, if they don't come ahead in the lanes, I am still worried about their ability to perfectly execute the black hole with the macro pie and everything. And
They go for a sturdy Mars.
nice, the Amar Mars coming in at the very last pick. Often it's first picked up ban when he first joined the competitive scene, but no, I like this. This is like the counter-aggressive hero to at least help them with some of the earlier fights. I still worry a bit for OG that if they don't have the perfect placement of their spells, Tundra will be able to run around them with the BKBs and stuff, so yeah.
Definitely gonna be a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
Like, 9 always finds a way to play different heroes, something that is gonna be like very entertaining. And Clockwork is that hero. Like, he got a buff, not so much in the lane against the Void Spirit because of the dissimulate, so he can get out of the cogs. But the battery assault dealing 2 times damage to creeps. So
amazing.
Like, even if you catch someone inside with a creep or 2, like, you can still be able to get a kill from it. We're talking about the later stages. I kind of like what the OGs have. Like, they have a lot of team fight, a lot of circles that they can throw. They have 2 abilities that can cut down Monkey King's tree, so that's going to be, you know, they got to be careful with it. Midnight Pulse and also Arena, so they could potentially grief their core. And yeah, people want to see that.
Yeah, well, what I want to see, because we saw Saxa pop off on the Doom previous game, right? He can definitely do that on the Rubik this game.
I mean,
There's so much to steal.
there will be at least one time where we get to see the black hole counterplay where Rubik hits at least 2 people, so that's exciting stuff.
Yeah, it is going to be exciting stuff. That is what I hear from my panel. Indeed, here for the second game of OG versus Tundra, we are going to OD picks and follow.
Yes, game 2 ready to go here between OG and Tundra. As there's some similarities in the drafts, but with some twists towards the end. Of course, Tundra bringing out the 9 mid Clockwork. It's going to be very, very fun to see. And as for OG, a bit sort of back to the good stuff, right? You know, this is what you expect. BZM back on his Void Spirit in the mid. And maybe actually not what you would expect in terms of what they're able to get as the last pick, because obviously in the past, Amar normally had his whole repertoire of heroes banned out. They're actually able to get the last pick Mars from this game.
Yeah, has gotten nerfed also into a pretty tough matchup, since he is going to be very likely versus the Razor, and the IO could be very difficult. Sure, he can play and offset some of it if he hits the spear to stop the links, but the lane should, in theory, be pretty difficult for him. But it's comfort, right? I think OG has gone all the way back to comfort rather than doing some quirky stuff with the Void Spirit as the 4 position. And yeah, Tundra, the Clockwork mid, something that I feel like a lot of people in theory crafting, especially versus Spirit heroes, because versus most melees as well, nobody can trade with you. This damage is insane. You clear the creep wave really quickly too, so eyes on mid lane, at least for me. The last pick also with the Mars, I feel like they wanted to have a solution to the Lycan. I think last game just started to get out of control because 33 could do whatever the hell he really pleased. Like, he didn't have this like one hero where it's like, oh my god, I'm really scared actually as Lycan. So now there's the Mars. You know, he drops the ult down, Lycan's gonna be trapped inside of it for everything else to hit him. So I think that's the solution that OG was trying to stop, this constant aggression that 33 places with his micro heroes.
Yeah, and I think overall as well, as the panel says, you know, when you consider how well Saxa was playing last game, now he's on a Rubik and these sort of conditions,
it's a dream.
The heroes that he's up against, he's got the potential to have quite a showstopper here.
Yeah. And of course, we're going to point out, they did it. I didn't point it out last game, but I'm going to point out this one because it's something that Tundra does now every game. The headdresses, right? Double support headdresses. They're doing that instead of buying the extra. Right? Yeah, instead of buying the extra regen, that's just what they're doing every single time. Sure, one of them was the IO still, so it's that one always makes sense. But even on the Rubiks, they're always doing it. So while you look at the side of OG, yeah, it's all about the branches still.
Yeah, again, they're gonna have good means to do it here, especially if 33 takes some points. The Feral Impulse, that the Headdress Aura, he's good.